Greetings and welcome to another edition of The Great Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Praise be to Goddess. Well, here it is, another Wednesday, and summer's almost over. It's almost fall. Hang on to your shirts, it's almost fall. You're going to have to get out those sweaters and get out a mug of hot cocoa or a hot coffee or whatever it is you drink, and you're going to have to curl up by a nice fire, or so we think. But it's a great time to reflect on the year, and our Harvest Moon Festival is right around the corner. Very soon, in September, we're going to have our Harvest Moon Festival, and it ends with a wonderful vegan Thanksgiving. And I love vegan Thanksgiving. It's goddess worshippers Thanksgiving is all vegan food, all comfort food, all vegan, and it's great. I love it. So, the topic of today's presentation is resistance is futile. How true is this? Resistance is futile. How many times in our everyday life do we find ourselves resisting something? I know for me it's a lot. Resisting this, resisting that, resisting the next thing. We're always resisting something. And we're tempted by it because when there's something we don't like, we resist it. But resistance is futile. And whenever you resist something, you're wasting your time, because it could be spent in so many other beautiful ways that your time could be spent other than resisting something. And when you resist it, then eventually you become it, because when you put up a barrier, when you put up resistance, when you're resisting becoming something or doing something, eventually you become like the person or like the thing that you're resisting. It's just the law of nature. It's just a natural fact. And so we shouldn't resist so hard. Instead, flow around the thing that you don't want. Flow around it. And this is the philosophy of Zen. In Zen philosophy, we flow around things. We flow around our adversary. We flow through life, flowing instead of resisting harshly. Think about what's stronger, a rock or water. Well, you would say a rock is a whole lot stronger than water. But what happens in real life when you put a rock in the middle of water? The water drips, 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 and flows, flows, flows around that rock. And eventually the rock is worn away by erosion. So flowing is much more effective than resisting. And you just flow with the flow of life. You don't put up a barrier of resistance when something is bothering you. You don't put up a barrier of resistance. You flow with the stream. You go with the stream of life. You flow with the stream. And so this is true in life as well as with the goddess. Because how many times do we resist goddess? And I know there's been a few times. I know there's been a few times when we resisted goddess. And that's because we don't know what her will is. We don't know what she has planned. We don't know her will. We just have our own will and our own creations, but we don't think about her. We don't think about her creations and what she wants to do. So we resist. We resist literally. We resist anything that that comes into our path, that comes in our way. We try to bore through it rather than go around. And this is ridiculous. It's like chiseling through a wall for 20 years when there's a door right next to you. Why bother? So we do resist Goddess, and a lot of times she throws things into our life that we're not expecting. She throws us curveballs. This is what Goddess does. But it's futile to resist Goddess. You can't resist a goddess. A goddess is all-powerful, or at least as close to all-powerful as you can be. So it's futile to resist her. And so why do we resist? Well, we resist her because we don't know any other way to do things. We were never taught don't resist. We were never taught go with the flow. We watched our parents resist things like crazy. And we learned that behavior from our parents. And we watched them get all bent out of shape over something, or turn red, or get flustered. So we learn to resist. And it's futile to resist anything. It's futile. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. And so we shouldn't resist the goddess. We should instead acquiesce and say, Goddess, if this is the way you want things, or if this is somebody else's will, whichever, I'm going to allow it because you're all powerful and I can't resist you. I can't resist you. I can't resist the goddess. I can't resist you. So go with the flow in life. Stop resisting things. It's futile to resist goddess. Resistance against her is futile. I'm Sarah Jane Alpha Wolf signing off. Have a terrific week and don't resist so hard.